Alright, hello everyone, this is Wild Blade from Creative Media Vault in Tokyo, Japan, and I hope that you all had a pretty good day today. It was a little bit busy for me because I was kind of like working on artwork and kind of figuring out what I wanted, kind of what layout I kind of wanted for this game. So I did say I was going to be streaming later at night, so I'm going to try to keep to that schedule for at least the next couple days. I know some of you are waiting for me to stream during the morning time, but like I said, the schedule's kind of changed a bit. So once things kind of calm down for next week, and like hopefully my kids will be back in school, then I can start streaming for the normal time for you guys in Japan. And then for those of you who are overseas, you can just kind of maybe catch me on for gaming. So I am going to try to really stick to a schedule. It's just the beginning of this year has been kind of messed up. So remember, like normally for Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to try to do tutorial Tuesdays where you can like actually keep up with the games that we're building. And then on during the nights, I'll probably try to do like some actual gaming stuff, like playing Overwatch or playing League of Legends, so that we can kind of do some fun stuff and chat. For those of you who are watching me on my Discord server, thank you for the thank you for the replies, and the support. And I've replied to some of your messages. So let's see. Yeah, that's about it. We're not gonna I'm not gonna stay on too long tonight. I just kind of want to do a little bit more of the artwork on this game and get it a little bit more headed in the direction that we kind of want to go art wise. Um, what you're looking at right now is you're looking at a pic. I noticed somebody asked me about this like a couple days ago. Like who's this guy? This is a picture of Vincent from Wildfire, which is my main storyline. So actually, this is Vincent, and this is another 3D rendition of him. And I'm actually wearing a T-shirt with his animated version. So I made a game a couple years ago, more than a couple years ago, called Wildfire Blitz. And so this is his game character version. So I noticed that some of you really like that artwork. So let's see. But I don't. He's part of the main Wildfire storyline, which is a spin-off or which is actually the main storyline that my current main game, CDULO, the Beyond the Outer Rim, comes from. So these two storylines are naturally connected. Yeah, so if you want to know more about this character, he's like one of the coolest characters in my book. But I'm not gonna give away too much because I want you to read my book and buy my shit. So, and here you can check out his storyline here, his profile actually, on my website. So when you're actually like reading the book from my website or checking out the comics, he does have his little character profile. All of my main characters have a character profile here. So if you go to the novel, which you can read online for free if you don't mind staring at a screen, or you could like buy my book from lulu.com or Apple, the App Store. Yeah, but underneath here you can see all of the main character profiles. So you can kind of click over here and you can see kind of what he does. Just a general overview of his abilities and his backstory. But like I said, he is directly connected to this CDULO storyline. So you have to like kind of play the game and read the books and kind of keep up with the comics to see how all of this kind of fits together. But realistically, what I've been doing is I've been working on one really large universe, like one connected storyline. So everything that I've been working on is connected. So it's pretty cool to check and see how things are connected through the different time periods. All right, let's see. So that was Vincent. What else do we have to go over before we get into the tutorial? Oh, if you like this sweater or this was one of my more popular selling items before COVID hit. So this T-shirt with Vincent was actually a lot of people like this one. So um, I was advertising this as like a training wear. And so a lot of guys were into this one back in the day. So I would say a couple of years ago. So I have different color variations of this one, but the black one is the a more popular one. Oh, here's a little video of Wildfire Blitz. Um, a little promotional video that I did. So I'll let you guys watch that before we get into the today's tutorial. Yeah, so this was a game that I made for iOS, but then like it didn't stay on the store that long because like I got tired of trying to update it all the time. I still have like a copy of it somewhere on my old iPhone, and my kids loved it. So yeah, and this is a 3D version of Vincent. So like he is one of the main characters in the the main Wildfire storyline. And this is the hoodie that I'm wearing right now, which is really warm and perfect for training. So if you're into anime characters, training, and stuff like that, yeah, go check out my online store, nerdyurges.com, and like help support this channel and help support my game dev endeavor. Yeah. So yeah, I've got like and like coffee mugs and stuff like that, right? So yeah, for those of you who are wondering who that character was, that's his name, Vincent Stone. So check him out, enjoy, and then read up on the other characters too, because they're going to play a major role in my upcoming game. So all right. Other than that, I haven't really been doing too much, except for with this storyline because I want to go ahead and get this tutorial a little bit more finished before the end of this month, and I will go back to working on my main Kickstarter game. After like things calm down after tax season and all of that stuff, I'll try to finish my taxes next week, and then like go ahead and get done with that so I can kind of focus more on completing the Kickstarter game. Um, like, I did have some friends who launched their Kickstarters like last month and this month, and so I'm kind of watching to see what the results of their Kickstarters are going to be because they're actually working with the team, and I'm doing solo development. So I mean, I'm kind of rooting for them, but right now, it looks like their projects have not really been performing that well. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of case study as well to see like what before I launch mine to see what has kind of gone wrong with their projects because they have like a larger following than I do on social media, and like some of their games like they look totally amazing. I don't know what they're like story wise, but I have played a few of them and they're really good. But I'm just kind of checking to see like what the kind of market is for indie games at the beginning of this year. So that's why I haven't really. That's another reason why I've kind of delayed production on CDULO The Outer Rim. So I've got a lot of stuff going on, and it's the beginning of the year. Kids have been home, and like also like gotta have other stuff to prioritize. But I'm also keeping an eye on that to see how if their campaigns are going to be what's going to make their campaign successful and what's not before I jump back into mine, and it's pretty educational. Okay, so that's what's going on with my main game project. But now let's jump back into this one. So if you'll notice, some things have changed from the last time you saw this saw this game. So you're probably wondering what all of these red squares are. Well, I decided that I wanted to do something a little bit different than the for the artwork. Because I normally do 2D platformers or like strategy games or something like that, right? But for this particular type of game and the feel that I kind of want to go for with it, I wanted to make it look like we were like a lot of the game takes place on levels. So these ugly ass red squares that you're seeing right now, don't worry, they will not be this red color in the game. It looks like a character died, a pixelated character died and just dragged his ass off screen. Well, this is just like a little bit of a template that I've kind of made up specifically for level design. So what I've done is I've placed a background. We're gonna like the the only movable areas of the game will be like these squares, right? And we're gonna keep it that way because I want to make it look like a lot of times the character is maybe walking on a level above the earth or walking above the clouds, or if she's in a factory doing some espionage work, like running around a facility that has like dangerous stuff beneath it, right? So we're gonna go with this kind of style. So what you're looking at right now is you're looking at the default, like I guess background image that will, be under the actual playing level. And you're looking at some clouds here, and I'll put like some other elements here. But right now we're just kind of working on the level layout. And the way that I created this is I actually created this in Adobe Animate. But if you don't have Adobe Animate, don't worry about that. You can use like any graphics application. I like Animate because it gives me a lot of versatility. So this is what I was working on in Animate. Uh, so now this background layer, I actually did some sketch work in Procreate. That's why it doesn't really look that good. Because when I do my sketch work in Procreate, man, I'm lazy. I just like it's all just fucking scribbles, and then I add colors to it later, and then I make it pretty once I kind of have an idea of what I want it to look like. So this will be like our temporary background, and then I created this temporary sky. And I like Animate because it's vector art, so I can always change the colors of these on the fly if I want to create multiple skies. And what else do we have? And then the only other thing that I've done is I've created these squares. So with these squares are going to become our play area. There's another game that I saw, and I cannot remember the name of it to save my life, but that's what gave me the idea. It's a Steam game. So I think it's called Byron or Bastion. There's a game called Bastion on Steam. If you haven't like looked at that game, I highly recommend that you check it out because like the artwork in it is amazing. So we're going to kind of use that concept for this game because of the storyline that this game kind of goes with. I've also taken the liberty to start redesigning the title screen for this game. So I have removed the Nikki character for this, so like, hold on, let's see if I can get a good shot of my iPad too here. Yeah, so I removed the Nikki character. And this is kind of like what you're seeing now. So I removed Nikki and hold on. See, yeah, I've removed Nikki so you can kind of see like what the new title is gonna look like. So we'll be working on that as well if we have time. But for right now, let's go ahead and continue working on our level layout, right? So that's going to be the main thing that we're going to go for at the moment. So let me switch back over to this and turn this off and get back into my Animate. All right, so with Animate, this is kind of where we're at right now. When you jump back over into Unity, you'll notice that I have added a another default square here, right? And all of this, this is a default grass tile. You'll notice that it is white because when I'm doing level layout, I like to keep everything, I want to do as much of the design work as possible using as few elements as possible. So with a white tile, it's just gonna be easier for me to just go over here and select different colors, and kind of change that to whatever I need it to be. Like maybe this dark green over here, right? And now like I can just totally switch this over to Greenland or whatnot. So the way that I set this up was pretty simple. I just went in here and created an empty game object with the sprite render, and I added that default white diamond to it. And after I added the white diamond, I just changed the color, and you'll notice that I did add another sprite to this. So if we click below here, you'll see this tile bottom. Now, the thing about these tiles is that the way that I've done these is you can actually have like multiple different bottom types. So you can change the grass color, and you can also change the grass bottom. Or if you're like in an area, for example, like over here where you don't necessarily want to see the bottom island part, well, having this extra graphic down here, it just allows you to kind of turn, like, just set it to off. Where are you? Let me do this one down here. So if I don't need that, if I don't want to see the bottom of the tile or the island like part sticking out, I can just like turn this off and it'll become flat. Yeah, so we will, this gives us the versatility to do a lot with these tiles, just like change the color, change the graphic. We're going to be doing some graphic work in Animate for these, but right now let's get back to the level design. So this is the level that I've decided to go with for level 1. So the first thing that I did in Animate is I went ahead and laid out the squares. Kind of laid out the squares where I want them to be. Just kind of to get an idea of the scale of the level. And then after that I started working on like some background elements, which are like these like mountains, these clouds, and then I just stuck the background graphic beneath all of it to kind of give it a sense of depth. And so we're gonna go ahead and continue with that. If you'll notice, I do have like some clouds here as well. So I've kind of got like these transparent clouds kind of hanging around here, doing absolutely nothing. Um, for now, in our game they'll be moving. So yeah, that's what we're going to do tonight, I think. So I'll be doing graphic work in here, and then like just dragging it over to Unity when necessary. What else do I have? I have this on another scene because I was actually working on this scene before just to see what it looks like. And I did grab some other graphics from my Quest of the Gummy Witch Boneyard, by the way. So I keep a boneyard of graphics that I've used for previous games. It's actually called like Boneyard. This level is actually called stage is actually called Boneyard. So it is just like random graphics that I've like used that I might kind of want to reuse and stuff like that in other games. So let's see, I've got my CDUL Kickstarter graphics. Yeah, so there's not really going to be so much useful here, but I'm just kind of showing you where I keep my Boneyard files and like kind of what's in them. So this will be like, these are some of the graphics for the Kickstarter campaign, so you can actually like see some of my perks and stuff that I'll be launching, or that I'll be giving away for people who support the game financially. And let's see what else we have. We've got our Django's Run. That was for a game jam. Let's see, T-shirt design strategy game. So yeah, just like cute little stuff like this is kind of what I keep in my Boneyard file. And then when I need them, I can just go through, instead of remaking all those damn graphics. I can just go through and pull them from somewhere. As a matter of fact, I think we're gonna pull this rock. So yeah, we're gonna pull this rock, and I think we're gonna pull these trees that I already designed. So we'll just copy them. And all of this artwork was actually done on iPad and Adobe Animate as usual. So yeah, that's my default workflow. So I can just kind of copy those and jump over here to my scene, and then paste them in here, and boom, we have graphics that we can start populating our scene with. Yeah, I'm not really sure if we're gonna have palm trees, but just really, this just kind of really makes it easier. So don't be afraid to reuse artwork from your previous games, or even from like other games, or from the asset store. I don't really use like so much asset store stuff right now. There's nothing wrong with it, and like it does make game development a lot faster and a lot easier. But since I'm working with stuff that already have a storyline, and with products that I'm kind of already selling, based on the characters and stuff, I do worry about like I do worry about copyright stuff a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. So that's why I try not to use so many free assets, or so many like asset store assets in my games, unless I mean for graphic wise anyway, unless they're absolutely necessary. Now what I'm doing right now is in this boneyard, I'm searching for enemies that will match the level that we're designing. So I do have enemies that we're going to, like some default enemies that we're going to be using in the game, in the latter part of the game. However, for this first level, we haven't really gotten to the point where we're interacting with those main enemies yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for some cute little enemies to stick into the game that we can kind of match the first level a little bit. And because we're just kind of running around outside, you know, running around in the forest and stuff like that. So I think some of my old Quest of the Gummy Witch enemies, like these rock guys, will kind of match the scene for enemies right now. I mean, they're cute. I mean, they're not really drawn for top down. Uh, so we're gonna use. Actually, I think we're gonna use this guy. So he hasn't actually made it into the Quest of the Gummy Witch game as a boss yet, but he is in the storyline. So if you go to my Patreon page and you watch the video, you can actually watch a full video of the Quest of the Gummy Witch game, which you can only, it's like 20 minutes. So you can only like watch the full storyline here. But if you watch the full storyline of this, then you'll see this where this character where this boss kind of comes in. So let's see. I think we're gonna copy these guys, and I think we're also gonna copy him. Yeah, I think we're gonna copy like all of these guys and stick them, kind of put them in the game for now as temporary, not so threatening enemies. Yeah, let's go ahead and copy these guys and move them over. I mean, they look kind of like natural enemies. That's kind of what we want for this first level. So I'll paste these guys up in here, and where'd you go? Let's see. Move them down. Yeah, so the brown guy, his name is Caramel Claude. Uh, so I think we're actually going to use Caramel Claude as one of the little small antagonists for this first level of the game, and then we'll use these rock guys and call it a day, because this will be the tutorial, the player tutorial part of the game anyway. All right, cool. So let's see. Now let us go back to our Unity scene. And so I've already told you how I got this set up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and start laying out the level, and we're just going to use these default squares. So we are going to go ahead and change the tile color. So I'll change this top tile color to like kind of match this green over here. So it's kind of like a yellowish green a little bit. All right, and that'll be our first tile color. And the good thing about this method is that this should allow us to really kind of lay out the level rather quickly. So I'm just going to go down here, and I'm going to just duplicate this. So duplicate, and move. That's all we're doing. So duplicate, move, and shrink. Yeah. And if you'll notice, this is why I've laid out, like, I guess previously laid out everything in Animate, because when I do it in Animate, I can see exactly kind of what the game is going to look like, what the level is going to look like, and it actually allows me to place stuff much faster. So with this one, you'll notice that I do have the island up here. Now, sometimes with some of these, I'm going to want to space because I'm going to want to see the island below it. So yeah. So I can do like something like this. Hold on, let's see, this grass default. The bottom tile is sitting on layer -5. It's sitting on layer 1. And I mean, I can actually stack these as well. Which means that I'm going to need to drop the layer of this one down to like -30 or something like that. Just to make sure that, our tiles, we can see the red part isn't getting in between our tiles. So that's another reason why I'm using a totally different color, so it's easier to see. Yeah, so I can kind of move this over here, and then I can kind of decide, oh, do I want to see this this island part, or is it not necessary? I don't really think it's necessary for this one, so so I can like turn it off, or I can like switch it to something later. So for right now, I'll just turn it off to where it works, to where we can kind of line things up better. Not with the bottom tile of this, right? Yeah, and this is the process that we're going to use. Alright, so I'm going to continue to lay out my level like this. And then, like, you can just kind of play around with it, scale it until you're satisfied. Alright, there we go. Okay, and this also gives you the ability to use some variation. So what I mean by variation is I've got these 3 squares here. So with this, I'm laying out everything in green, but I mean my squares don't all have to be green because that's why we're kind of using this this simple tile method. And so I might change this one over to like something like yellow, like more yellowish green. And this is where we can start getting into more like different color variations and different textures actually, because we're only using like the default colors right now, but since we are laying this out, what we're going to do in Adobe Animate later is we're actually going to draw some textures that we're going to drop into Unity, and then we can just go through and decide which texture these squares are each going to get, and that'll make it much faster. Alright, so let's duplicate this guy over here and drag him over here. Yeah, we'll drag this guy right here, and this will get much faster, so don't worry. So I can just go back to my standard green right now. But I was just kind of demonstrating that what this method allows us to kind of do and get away with. And at the end of this, I have a lot of temporary graphics in this tutorial that we're going to wind up probably yeeting out the window once we have it set up. Anyway, make this one a little bit more. And look at this yellow one. So for example, if I want this yellow tile to look like it's kind of floating above, well, all I have to do is kind of drag it up here, and then I can turn the grass tile for this back on. And if I drag it up, not the grass tile, if I drag the parent up a little bit more, then it actually looks like, oh wow, we've got like a little bit of a staircase here. So that's a pretty cool thing to be able to do with this that we can kind of utilize with this method of level design. And it's not really too complicated, and it won't really take so much time. So maybe over here, if I want to make it look more like it's a floating island, I'll just turn this back on here, and now we have corners and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, we can decide whether we want these to kind of look like islands later. So let's go ahead and finish laying them out. So duplicate here, and so it actually took me a while to figure out a good look for this type of game, because I was thinking I wanted to do something a little bit more where we could see a little bit more of a realistic looking world kind of floating beneath it. But I didn't really consider the tile thing until I remembered that game. I'm like, oh, that game was actually pretty cool, right? So this is our kind of first level here. And with this, we can also make it look like there's different levels to these as well by simply if I go to this one right here, if I raise it up a little bit, then it actually looks like this. It can actually look like this is a step off point, especially if I change the color. Right, so I would have to change the color, and then I can change the layer of this. I could put this up at 5 or something, and now it would look like our player is kind of stepping down. So this simple method does give us a lot of variation for adding textures, or for adding height and depth to our level. So that's why I'm kind of using it for this game. All right, so let's see. Let's continue. Now, let's see. I guess we'll go ahead and continue with using these. So I'll duplicate this and drop this here. so we're just gonna duplicate a shitload of squares. That's basically all we're doing. Now, if I wanted to, I could actually make a random map generator for this, like later. We're not going to do that for this game because I don't think it's necessary, and we're going to want our our character to go down a specific path, a specified path, I should say. Okay. So, open. Okay, here we go. Alright, that's looking good. Of course, I'm gonna speed this part up in the actual Patreon tutorial. Oh, I forgot that this guy's hanging out here, so I shall go ahead and move him over here. We're gonna use him later. So I am gonna put some clouds and some parallaxing, to show some depth from the playable level to the actual hold on, between these tiles and the earth or whatever below later, right? So if anything looks like you don't even really have to worry about lining it up too much right now. But I'm going to because I don't like the way they look, right? And that's kind of why it's important to use different colors for when you're doing your layout, just to kind of keep your template separate from your actual level objects until you have things kind of looking the way that you want them to. Right, yeah, so this will be the level, something like this. Alright, so yeah, that's kind of what we're going for right here. So I will speed this process up so you guys don't have to listen to me so much. And I'll go ahead and turn these white ones over to our nice little yellowish green at the moment. Yeah. Same for this guy. But you can kind of tell, even just by adjusting the hue and the shade of the green, I can get some really cool effects without even adding any texture. To be honest, I can just kind of shift this over here, and this already looks like it's another, a completely separate piece of land. So we are going to kind of utilize that as well. So I mean, I can do anything I want to with these colors, just so I can basically just use one tile, and if I want to change this to a desert, for instance, it's change the base of it to a desert looking color template or color palette, then it's easy to do. So that's why I think this is probably the best way to go. And just by changing the shade or the saturation of the green that I use, then I can get some really cool effects for this. Okay, actually, I don't even need to go trying to match that green color over there. So, so what are we doing? We're going to be doing cut and paste. So, got my default tiles, and we're going to group all of these later. So let me duplicate this. This one, I don't really want his island turned on, so I'll turn off the tile bottom here, so I can align him up better. No. Alright, so we're going to here and just continue with our, with dragging and, kind of manipulating our boxes here. This guy over here looks a little bit bigger because he's actually floating. He's actually got the island, so it looks like he's kind of floating in the background. I'm gonna leave his island on, but if you'll notice when I pull this square away, it looks like we have a step or like a little gap between. When I merge them together or when I put them closer, it looks like a solid piece of land. But you can kind of still see the island part, so you'll still notice that this is kind of floating. Because it's got the island part sticking out of the bottom. So this is obviously like, not anchored to the ground below. It's like obviously floating above it. So, okay, and duplicate everything. It's up to you whether you want to like put some space in between them or not. But since you know that they're all squares, it's pretty easy to go through and decide later. Like, okay, well, I want this one to float. I don't want this one to float, or I want this one to look like it's a little bit higher than this one, kind of thing. So for right now, don't worry so much about putting any spaces between them, like any gaps. Because this is a pretty simple layout, so you can always go through and edit it later. Alright, and that is our level layout. Yay! Alright, so now we have a couple of elements that we're going to have to add to this. One of them being this small bridge, which is like lovingly titled Small Bridge. Alright, because I'm lazy. So with this small bridge, it needs to be above, above these tiles. So we're gonna put this one like at maybe 8, right? And that will connect our two land pieces. We also have another bridge over here, which I'm going to need to like kind of toss in as well. Right. So actually, let's go ahead and play our game now. Now, right now, she doesn't. Hold on, I forgot I put this above her, so I'm going to have to change the level of the layers of my game objects. So still got this here. All right, so where are player controller, sprite controller. So I'm gonna have to like change the sprite controller on this, actually. Range weapons, scanner attack, making sure that these sorting layers. Box. Okay, yeah, I'm just kind of checking to make sure where my sprites are at right now. So, yeah, all of those are okay. She is going to be on 10 now. Okay. So yeah, change this minimap icon. Circle that will also be like, I'll put this up 150 because the minimap should be above everything. Sprite mask, don't have to worry about that one. Oh, lightning blast, I haven't given her that one yet. So this will also be on like what one, maybe 10. So layering is going to be important. So like but like I said, we're just kind of doing the default right now. So I think a layer of 10 would be good for her. I don't think I'm going to put anything else on that layer 10, so I'm just going to leave that for her. What if I put this at 0? Okay, nah. I guess I'll go with default with 0 for her. And then like, yeah, I do want my player to kind of be at a like default level, so be on a level that's easy to find. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and like switch all of these over to yeah, to 0 for her, and then 0 for her, 0 for the enemies. Anything that she's gonna kind of interact with, and then like maybe 5 and stuff for the bullets, and then like for other elements we'll kind of figure out that later. So, but the mini map needs to stay where it is. So actually, let me see my mini map icon. Her mini map icon can also be at 5, because it should be above the player anyway. Okay, so cool. This is what we've got, and now let's kind of run around here after we do the same thing for the enemies, because we're not going to see them either, I think. So if you'll notice, I tend to group everything. So I've grouped up my enemies, I've grouped up my sun, I've grouped up my clock and stuff like that. I've grouped up water, which we're probably actually not going to use in this game anymore, because the water is we're not going to use we're not going to be using it on the play area. We're going to just kind of leave it as a background element. So I don't really think the water is going to be interactable. At least I don't know. We'll come back to that later. But maybe we'll have some interactable water that she can kind of run through. Maybe we won't. Let's see, where are my enemies at? I've got my clocks. I did something with the clocks as well, so I'll show you what I did there. Hidden enemies, sanctuary. Here we go. Enemies. So, RDC gunner. Let's check his body. Okay, yeah, we'll have to put this one on, like, maybe I'll put him on 1 shot point. Yeah, so just make sure that you change all of these, otherwise you're not going to see your enemies when they're attacking her. You're just going to see the bullets coming, and you're like, where the hell is this coming from? Alright, drone body, layer in 10. This drone, this sentry drone actually flies above. We'll be flying over walls and stuff like that, so we'll kind of leave this there. Alright, so hidden enemy sniper, we're going to go ahead and turn this guy to 1 too. So anything that's flying, I'm going to kind of keep it on a layer of like 10 at the moment. Alright, and that should be good enough. Alright, so yeah, we've kind of quickly laid out our layer, our walkable area using these squares. So let's see, like so we got this slow ass guy here, and this is still yeah, that's what the thing about their tiles. I forgot I put these tiles over here a little bit higher. Or what is your layer? Yeah, because I was like trying. Okay, it's on the same layer as the player, so yeah, Kurami is gonna have to come up a little bit. So I think that's probably what I was thinking before. I'll just go ahead and put her on 10, and put her tail on 10. Yeah, you can kind of play around with the layers later, and I'll have to do the same for the enemies as well. So I'll just put everything else will be on 10 at the moment. And then I'll figure out like where I actually want these layers to go. Turret, sentry, drone, drone body will be on. We'll put drone body on 15, and then so all of our enemies and stuff will be on 10, and that should give us a pretty good range. You know, a pretty good depth range. Alright, yeah, now let's play. Okay, cool. So she can run over here, and she can cross this bridge, run by these guys, and run across these tiles. And yeah, alright, that's looking much better. However, and I don't have the UI turned on for this, so don't worry if you're not seeing any like any damage or health. But if you'll notice, she can kind of swim across. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I should like I'll have some areas where she can kind of swim across as well. So there will be like some water up around here. Like I might actually like toss that in there, like a little pools and stuff like that. But right now it looks like she's able to kind of fly between islands, and we don't really want that. So we're gonna stop this, and this is where we're gonna get into what we were doing last week, or what I showed you to do last week, was how to set the boundaries for your level. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. And because of the way that we're kind of doing this now, when we set up the Polygon Collider, which I showed you how to do last week, it'll make a lot more sense. So before we were trying to use a Polygon Collider to indicate which areas the player could walk through, but we're kind of doing it with surface areas like rocks and mountains and stuff that looks a little bit more organic. So dragging the collider around all of those like curves and stuff was a pain in the ass. But now that we're using this type of level design, just using standard shapes and standard like squares and diamonds, then the Polygon Collider should make a lot more sense. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually maybe tone this down a little bit, make it a little bit darker at the moment. And this will allow us to see our new Polygon Collider. All right, and all of these new grass, new grass objects, I'm going to, grass tiles, now that we kind of have the level laid out, I'm just going to take them and I'm going to, all right, sorry, I'm still thinking I'm in Unity 2020.2020. All right, so let's see, let's create an empty, and I'll put like level 1 tiles, right? Level 1 tiles. All right, and then we're just gonna take all of these grass items and drag them in here. Now remember, the cool thing about this this method is that I'm only using one prefab to make all of this, right? So I'm only using this default prefab, which is basically just a white diamond with the graphic beneath it. And but this method gives me so much variation because I can just run through here and just like start changing the color on all of these. Just like, okay, I want this guy, I want this tile to be like yellow, and I want this tile to be like red. So I can like go with all the freaking colors of the wind here if I want to. Yeah. And then I just have to kind of go through later and justify why I've changed changed the colors to this. That's the only caveat, right? So I could like go to this one right here, and say, okay, well, I want you to be like -2, and I can kind of create my stairs this way, and I need this one to be like -4 or something like that. And then this really like lets me kind of play around with depth and coloring, so that's why I like this method. All right, so let's see now. Back to what we were doing before. We have our tiles laid out, we've got them all grouped together. But now we need to make the walkable area, right? So I'm gonna go back up into my bounds group right here. And to show you what we had before, we had this like Polygon Collider. And this Polygon Collider is really, this really kind of looks like this. This is what our previously like walkable area. The area that the player could just kind of run around and enjoy and stuff like that. Does not match our current map, so we're just gonna hide this guy and then like kill it later. So so what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to create a new empty game object. So I'll just go here, create empty. All right, and then I'm gonna put like maybe tile bounds, right? And to get this to work, I'm going to need to add a Polygon Collider, Polygon Collider 2D. And if you'll notice, like with this one, all we had here was we had a rigid body and we had a Polygon Collider. So those are the only two things. So that's exactly what we're going to add to this. So we're going to add a rigid body 2D. All right, and we're going to set it to I think I had it set it to kinematic, and yeah, so for this one I had it set to kinematic for some reason. Let's try that. So like kinematic, and we're gonna set it to X, Y, Z. I tried static and I had a problem with it before, that's why. All right, so now we have our nice, beautiful Polygon Collider. I'm gonna go ahead and change this. Let us know where it is by like calling it, yeah, um, tile bounds 1. All right. So now, we should be able to easily identify this, in the scene. And there it is, yay! Alright, so, our player is not just going to be running around as this little pentagon. So let's go ahead and click on this, and we're going to start editing our Polygon Collider. And now you're going to see how much better this style works with this level. Because, actually I should have done these in a different color than green, but oh well. Right, so I can just kind of start dragging my polygon points out to hit all the corners. And it doesn't really matter because, like, we can stretch this as long as we need it to be, as much as we want. And yeah, this is how we're going to define our player's walkable area. Right? So, let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and kind of continue to lay this out. Realistically, if I'm going to do the Polygon Collider, it'd probably be because the polygon is green, it would probably be a good idea for me to go down to our level tiles and highlight them all. And then give them a different color. So I might give them a color of like something that's like not really going to interfere with us seeing our, because remember, this is how quick it is to actually change level colors too. It's just like, just highlight everything and just change it to a different tint, and wow, voila, there you go, a completely different level. All right, yeah, so we'll change these over to pink right now. And then we can like just go through and change them back to whatever we want them to be later. And now we can see our Polygon Collider a lot clearer, so that'll help with the layout. All right, so we're gonna drag this guy over here. And the beautiful thing about this is anytime I want to add a new point, I can just go like right here, and I can just box all of this out. So this is the area where our player will, actually our player's not even really gonna make it over there. So actually I'm gonna rein these in. This island over here is just eye candy. We're not even gonna go over there. We're not even gonna touch that guy. So it's just to let us know, hey, there's another part of the kingdom over here that you can't reach. So all right, so we're gonna move this here. Yeah, and this is kind of how we're going to make sure restrict our player's movement. And it looks like it's kind of tedious. I mean, if you have like a huge level, it's going to be tedious. But I mean, development is tedious anyway, so you might as well get used to that shit. To be honest, what do I have here? That's kind of not going where I want it to go. Are you going to be a problem? Yeah, you were going to be a problem, weren't you? You were going to try to be a problem. Intentionally be a problem. Okay, yeah, let's see if I can get that over here. Right there. So, I do want to make sure that my player can actually walk through these areas. So, wait a minute. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. I don't know why it's giving me this bound in here. Because I don't want that. I want this to come over. Okay, well, hold on. Let's continue with this and see what happens. Yeah, it's giving me these little extra corners that I don't necessarily want, so... okay, that's why. Alright, so, yeah, let's go here, and yeah, it does kind of take some playing around with this thing to kind of get used to it. Alright, yeah, let's go here, here. Okay. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna continue to work on getting this laid out. So, you know, just give me a couple minutes. So I guess the easiest way, one of the best ways to do this is to just go ahead and hit all the corners. You know, these little middle lines right here are like visually they're kind of messing, like they'll mess with you a little bit. So, you know, I think it's just gonna take some practice. So for this bridge, I'm gonna make sure that the player can traverse this bridge, but I don't want, I might not necessarily want her to be able to go off of it. I mean, go beyond, like, I might want her to stay within the range of the post, basically. So, come over here. And maybe just kind of drag to each corner first. And then, like, you know, that'll probably help you. So I'm just gonna, like, when I come to an angle like this, I'm just gonna drag it to the next corner point. And that'll kind of help me keep my bearings as to where everything is, because these lines can get kind of like kind of confusing. Okay, yeah, so the next corner and the next corner, right? So, you know, it could be a little bit tedious sometimes, but you know, it'll definitely be worth it in the end, I think. So and then we'll just grab this one and move it all the way over here. And then, like, you know, once you're done with this, you can easily kind of tweak where you want it to go. So, you know, if this is allowing the player to see too much, you can just kind of shrink the size of it. All right, where am I at? Okay, so if you get lost, just go ahead and start like directing your points to corners. Okay, so corner, corner. Actually, I can move this corner up here. Then drag another corner here. Yeah, and so this will actually make it easier for you to, especially for like levels that are using geometric shapes. So, yeah, the corner, corner. Yeah, so, you know, this would be a pain in the ass to try to like accurately do for something that looked a lot more organic. Okay, yeah, we've already done this over here, I think so. So we're gonna take this now. We're not gonna for like tiles that have the island bottom. You know, you're not really necessarily gonna want the player to walk across those. So it's a good idea to go ahead and make sure that make sure to kind of omit those from your Polygon Collider. You know, just kind of skip them. Those are just for eye candy. And remember also, if you move your tiles, so if you adjust your tiles a little bit, you are going to have to adjust the Polygon Collider. But because they're basically you're working with squares, that'll be a lot easier than if you were like working with more organic type shapes. You know, like some unusual shapes like, you know, circles and stuff like that. All right, and why are you giving me? Okay, so it's kind of giving me a little bit of grief right there for some reason. So remember, just remember the corner rule, and you should be safe for the most part. This one I'm gonna drag over here. So it'd give me a little bit of a problem. It's talking about an an intersection here. So let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. That fixed it. So if you get like a red line like I did before, it's kind of warning you like you're intersecting something that maybe you shouldn't be. So look for look for the green line next to it. Okay, and actually that's about it for our layout. Okay, I got to do this area over here. That's it. I think. Yeah. So just go ahead and do this area very quickly. All right, yeah, and that is about it for our level layout. I mean, for our Polygon Collider here. Don't really think we have to worry about this. Yeah, if it's not inside of this, if I'm not getting the green square when I'm on this, then I think that'll be a traversable area. Yeah, so I mean, and the good thing about this method is you can make your polygon as tight, your Polygon Collider as tight as you want it to be. All right, cool. So yeah, I can just kind of tighten it up here, and like get into the corner that a few more points, you know, if I want to. And okay, that should be good enough. So that will be our transversable area. Okay, now let's go ahead and test this out. So we've got all of this outlined here. And I can stop editing my Polygon Collider and let's see how it works. Oh, actually, she's outside of the box, so. Ah, you know what, guys? I did this reversed. So actually, I'm boxing. What I just did is I just boxed out, boxed out the area that she can't travel. That's why I say I kind of got lost with it. So right now she can't travel inside of this. So hold on, let me redo that. So I'm gonna turn this box collider off, and I'm gonna go back out here. So what I should have done is I should have gone around the opposite edge. So give me a second. Let me add component again. Another. Cancel. Yeah, I need something with a little bit off. All right, let's go back to this, and let's try this again. So what I did is I did the opposite. I did the inside, so we should have done the outside of this. So let's go ahead and set that up. So with this one, it's going to be, oh, sorry, I added a box collider. Should have added a Polygon Collider, so. Yeah, so I forgot I needed to do the area around this. So that's kind of what happens when I start talking. All right, let's go quickly and get this done. Bounds. Right, so we're gonna start this over again. This is what happens like when you're doing game dev though, so. Right. So now what I'm gonna do is go here, and I forgot I have to drag this out further. Actually, so basically we need to box out this area, not box. We boxed in this area. We need to box the other one out. So I'm gonna get rid of this previous Polygon Collider actually. So go ahead and remove that component. All right, there we go. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it does that. Alright, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put a perimeter around this, like so. And then I'm going to box out this way. So, yeah, let's go ahead and quickly do that. So I want to put this whole area right outside of this as off limits. And then anything inside of this will be within limits. So I'm gonna go ahead and basically I should see 2 lines on the outside. That's what I messed up the last time, so sorry about that, guys. So we're just gonna kind of drag this. This guy, we're not even gonna worry about him, right? Right, so we're gonna drag this here. Actually, I can go back to this one. Drag this all the way down here. Drag this here. So yeah, if you'll notice what I'm doing is I'm kind of making a box around outside of this. All right, and this will the inside of this perimeter will be our area that we'll need to kind of adjust. Right. So we're not worried about kind of what's outside of here. We're only going to worry about what's inside of there. Right. So now let's go back and kind of do what we were doing before. So just kind of adding points, and I'll do this quickly since I messed up the first time. So here, corner, corner, corner. Yeah, but don't worry. If you mess up on something like this, don't worry about it. It's like, this is kind of standard in game dev, so like, don't get down about it. If you're Twitch streaming and stuff like that, people have to remember that, you're human, so just apologize for it and keep on going about your business. Yeah, hopefully, by watching my mistakes, you guys won't make the same ones. All right, so let's see. Now we're gonna this here, but you'll notice it does, like, once you're like when you're not talking about it, it actually goes pretty quickly, once you get used to like using it. So basically I use this, I like using this method because it reminds me of the same thing I do in Adobe Animate when I'm boxing out a character. Yeah, so when I'm doing my character design, you notice I use a lot of boxes and squares. Well, this is basically the same thing for me. Okay, so now you'll notice the difference now that we don't have any of those lines coming in between this. So if you're doing your Polygon Collider box and you notice that you have lines in the middle of the area that you want to work out, then you probably just did the same thing that I did, and you made sure that you basically boxed out the inside instead of the external boundary, right? So no lines inside means that you're pretty good. Lines inside means that you're kind of boxing out the wrong area. So just keep that in mind. So, that's why I was seeing all of those white lines in between. I'm surprised nobody pointed that out to me. Oh, okay. So yeah, here we go. Okay, yeah, just right here, right here, right here, right here. And then if I want to get up in here, yeah, I can like really get dirty with it. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, now we're getting to a point where, now we can actually see where she can actually move around. Right. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Where are you? Okay. Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. Hey, oh wow, I just got raided again. Hi, guys. Thanks for the raid. I'm just kind of working on the level design for this game. Can I speed run this game? Actually, you can speed run it because it's only about like maybe 2 seconds long at the moment. It'll be much longer when I'm done with it. Right now, I'm just kind of like working on making a tutorial on how I can on how we can kind of build it out. So this game is still like this is not the main game project that I'm working on. I'm just kind of doing this as a side project while things are still kind of like messed up. Messed up schedule wise in January. But my main game project that I'm working on, my Kickstarter project, will be back. I'll be back on that one, once tax season and once things kind of calm down from the new year. We just had Chinese New Year over here too. Like I think there's a lot of stuff that needs to calm down after that. So I'm just kind of doing this, as a side project at the moment. So you will be able to speed run this game possibly once it's completed. Um, this is a story based game though, so you're probably like the concept is a story based game. So you're probably not going to want to speed run it because you're gonna want to try to pick up all of the get all of the secret information that connects to the main wildfire storyline. Okay, so yeah, here we go. So that should work. All right, so we're gonna leave this other island out of there. Let's go ahead and click through and like see if we can play this and run into our bounds. And I've decided I'm gonna put some cutscenes in here as well. All right, so yeah, there we go. That's what we were looking for. All right, cool, cool, cool. Yay! So she can go anywhere that she wants to and not fall off the level. Yay. All right, so there we go. That's what we're kind of looking for. So, right. So, yeah. So remember, like Polygon colliders work very well for boxing out unusual areas of your game. Sometimes I might want to like drag this little edge out too, just to like remind myself that there is a Polygon Collider holding all of this. But remember, if you see white lines inside of this, that means that you screwed up like I did the first time. All right, so don't do that. All right, so we got our tile bounds, and that's really the only main bounding box that we need to show the player where she can kind of go. Now what we can do is let's go ahead and close the bounds, and now we can get into the like fun stuff of like actually adding color, adding variation, and stuff like that. The first thing that we're gonna want to do though probably is change its background because that's just ugly. So we're gonna go in here, go to our go and animate, and if you'll notice, I've already kind of created this like simple background. The only thing I did with this was I created a box and then I gave it a simple like fill, like a gradation fill. So we're gonna use that for our sky. So, and I think I want to put this as 2048 and 2048. Make sure that's not that much. 2048. Make it a square. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and export Png sequence. I'm just gonna name this Sky 1. Sky 1. Oh, really? No. He's like, would you like to overwrite? No. Okay, let's see. Sky 2. Alright. Thank you. Like, so ProCraftSins, where are you at right now? Where are you from? ProCraftSins and Nim Avenger. I like that name. So let me know where you guys are from and like what game projects you're working on and stuff like that. If you're interested in games that you can actually play, that I've worked on, you can actually go to my itch.io page, which is not up at the moment. Oh, there it is. You can go to my itch.io page, and I do have like some projects that are a little bit more completed, or that you can kind of play around on here. So the main project this is the main project that I'm working on right now, which is my CDULO, The Outer Rim. This will be a Kickstarter project, and I will be launching this on Steam and on PS4 and on Nintendo Switch when it's completed. But this one is going to take a while to build because I have like a huge world that is kind of connected to, like comics, my books, my apparel store. So like there's a lot that's going to go into this game, and it has 7 different playable characters, and it has a pretty big storyline. So that's one reason why I'm not focusing on it for this month, because like when I jump into this, it's going to be just totally focused on this game. All of my energy and all of my effort is going to go into that. So if you want to play some of the other games that I've kind of got up, this was a game project that I still kind of want to finish, but it was started as a game jam. So one of my Tokyo Game Jam projects. So the concept is pretty cool, but we only had a short time to really make the game. And also, I was working with someone else, so I kind of would like to complete it when he's available as well. But to contribute with like to mix his ideas and some of the music and stuff. But he's a college student, so he doesn't really have so much time. So that's one reason why I haven't completed this one. If you really want to play a fun game, this one is my Quest of the Gummy Witch game, which I made with my 2 kids as a summer project. And this one has this is the most complete game that you'll find on itch.io of mine. So you can actually play this, and it has a nice little storyline. So you can only play a few levels of it because as my kids got older and got busier, they didn't really have so much time to and they're like getting to be like teenagers, right? So I didn't want to hang out with daddy that much. So I was kind of hoping that they would like the project enough to come back and like work on it with me. But I worked on it by myself for a while, but then I'm like, well, this is kind of a special project. I would like to finish it with my kids, but if they want to come back to it, we'll come back to it and do it later. But if you want to know I did go ahead and do all the cutscenes for this, and because I created a huge storyline for this game. So you can play this game for free on itch.io, because it's WebGL version. And then it cuts off after the second level. But if you would like to see the rest of the story, then you can go to my Patreon page, And on my Patreon, I have a 23-minute video that actually gives you the entire storyline and shows you how the game would finish. So all of that is already completed. Yeah, so you can find like these type of things on my itch.io page. Just go there, play around with them. And the game that we're kind of working on right now, I've also posted a very 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 small demo. Because remember, I'm just kind of doing this as a tutorial. So I posted a very small demo up so you can kind of play with that as well. All right, so back to our game dev. All right, so let's see. We've got this right here. So we've got our level laid out. We just created a sky. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this sky background here. And over here. And where are you? All right, so sky background. There you go. All right, so there we go. We've got our sky background in here somewhere. All right, and so we're gonna drop this one. We're probably gonna get rid of that, but we're gonna drop this sky background in right here, and we're going to the sky to. Okay, so we're gonna drop this back to 150 as well. Alright, so 150. Alright, get rid of this guy. Delete. Okay. And now we're just gonna kind of expand this out. Oh, that should have been minus 150 by the way, so we'll change that. I'm gonna just drag it right here. Center it up. Change this to minus 150. Alright, cool. And yeah, I do want the gradation to kind of I want it to look a little bit more, to give this guy a little bit more color variation, so probably put him right around here. Or maybe a little bit more. This guy right around there. Come on. Alright, cool. So, yeah, that's where our sky is gonna be. And do I need to change the color of this a little bit? Maybe I can. I don't know. I guess that looks kind of fine as it is right now. Alright, so yay, there's our sky. I'm gonna take the sun and make it a little bit bigger now that our player can kind of run around this area. So I'll go to my sun base and kind of turn this up. Maybe a little bit more and drag it over here. Okay, there you go. So there's our sun base. And now we can really start getting into like, putting in mountains and stuff like that. So we're just gonna quickly add some mountains. So I'll go back into my Adobe Animate, and I have these like little mountain ranges over here, and they're not gonna do anything. They're just gonna sit on the sit on the screen anyway. So I'm gonna turn this back to white. Actually, am I gonna use that one or am I gonna use this one? I'll use this one. All right. Turn this back to white, and then I'm going to, sorry, jumping back into action script, which I don't really want to do, so by action script. I'm getting kind of hungry. Right, so I'll go here and I'll export this, and I'm just going to name this as Mountain 1, Mountain Range 1. Alright, cool. Alright, and then I'll jump back into my Unity. Oh yeah, yeah. So I've actually thought of the story for this game. Right now I'm just kind of figuring out the best way to kind of represent that story, for layout wise. So, that's kind of why this is taking a little bit longer. But I do want to have something that looks pretty nice by the end of the night, so. And my room is starting to get colder. Right, so mountain range 1. So we're just going to take this mountain range and drag it up here. I'm going to give this a background minus 130, I guess. And then I'm going to, oh, wow, it actually resized it for me. I'm going to change the color of this one to maybe... I still cannot get this color picker to work to save my life, so when that happens, I'm just gonna go over here and oh, hold on, I'm gonna make this a prefab first. So this mountain range is gonna become a prefab because I like using prefabs. I like using stuff that I can, like, just kind of manipulate over and over and over again. Okay, so we're gonna drag this into mountain range 1. And after that, now I can kind of change the color on this guy. Hold on, not that guy, on this guy right here. So we're going to change the color on him to this green. Okay, and now I can start kind of playing around with the size and stuff. So I'm just going to drag this over here. Maybe shrink him down on the X and move him over here a little bit. Move him over here a little bit, maybe flip him on the X and scale down a little bit more, and then kind of drop him right there. All right, and now I'm going to duplicate this mountain, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a darker color. All right, and I'm going to move him over here so we can see a little bit of contrast, and I'm going to flip him on the X again and make him longer and make him smaller. And just kind of drag him down here. So now we're starting to kind of get our mountain range. Our mountain range is like a mountain range look, I guess. So notice the color variation. I might drag this down a little bit more to give it a little. Not that one. The one in the back. With 25, 125. All right. So for this one, I might actually make it a little bit darker. Come on. Yeah, like maybe right around here, I think would be good. For the mountain range at the back, I'm going to duplicate this guy, and I am going to go ahead and swap it back over here and move it this way, and probably go ahead and shrink him down because I want some height variation as well. And don't worry, all of that shit's gonna be hidden, so. Maybe right around here. Come on. Would be good. Right around here. Alright, so yeah, that gives us a little bit of depth, I think. Okay, yeah, this will work good for what we're trying to do. Okay, and let me see where this guy is at. time clock is at. Okay, cool. So yeah, now we're starting to kind of like, get our level the way that, to the way that it needs to be for this. For this right here, right now we're using kind of like a solid graphic, just as the background. So for this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna like kind of play around with this and make this look better in Adobe Animate anyway. But I mean, right now, if we start running around the level, that actually doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna take this cloud, and this cloud is gonna be on a level of minus 120. 120, yeah. And I'm gonna scale this guy up, and we're going to like put him right here, right now. And of course, we're going to basically anything that is going to be a background element, we're going to go ahead and try to make it into a prefab. Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and make that to a prefab and drag it into the prefabs folder. All right, so yeah, now we have like a little cloud that we can kind of play around with. Yeah, I don't want you under here. I want you under. We'll just put him right here. So we got color palettes. We got our grass default one. Okay, so color palettes, and we've got our mountain ranges. Got our sky. So I'm gonna go ahead and start grouping our clouds with our sky. So because I want to keep everything like grouped up. So we have our old layout, which we don't necessarily need. We've got our sun. We have our clocks. We have our sun clocks. Okay, so skies. So remember we have this kind of this group right here, skies. Well, I'm gonna turn these guys off because like I don't need them anymore. I don't need them right now. And I'm gonna take my sky 2 and my cloud, then I'm gonna drag it up into skies, right? And under this, I am going to make another empty game object, and I'm gonna name this one clouds. And I'm gonna drag my clouds here. Yeah. Right, so there we go. Wait a minute, and now I have to turn this on. Okay. Why? Huh. Okay, that's kind of hidden somewhere. Why? Let me break this guy out of here again. Okay, yeah, that was weird. But anyways, like this should be under skies now. So, and there are clouds. For this cloud, we're going to jump down here, and I think we're going to go ahead and kind of make him a little bit more like transparent, see-through. And with the clouds, now that we've got this as we can kind of play around with the colors here as well. Yeah, so that's why it's good to go ahead and make all your graphics white. But we're going to leave them as white for right now. Alright, so yeah. I can actually put him here if I want to. My sun will come down here as well. Right, and let me make sure my sun base is 120. So my cloud should be above my sun, so I'll put this as maybe 115. And then just kind of move it down, so we can kind of tell that it's moving in front. And we're gonna place these clouds like kind of like all over the place anyway. So this is cloud variation 1. I'll go ahead and save the project. We're going to go back into Adobe Animate, and here's another little cloud formation that we're going to use. So click this, export Png Sequence, name this one. Maybe this can be Cloud 2, so I'll put like Cloud 2. But yeah, if you'll notice, it kind of looks like a little bit of a city too. So so we can kind of use it either as a city or as clouds. Right, and let me go in here and go down to my sprites. Oh, actually, did I already do this one? Okay, yeah, there's cloud 1, here's cloud 2. So we'll drag cloud 2 up here, and go ahead and turn this into a prefab as well. Right, and now that's a prefab, we can go ahead and start playing around with it. So click on this, click on R, this, make it bigger, make it smaller. Now, really, I would normally like to blur this out, which is something that I didn't do, but might go ahead and change, like make this really kind of like thin looking. Yeah, so actually this would look a lot better if it's blurred out, so I might actually go ahead and do that. Okay, maybe like make it look a little bit like that. Come on. Like, the long, stringy, wispy kind of cloud, right? And so yep, so we've got our sun, we've got our sun up here. We're gonna take our clouds too and drop it up in here as well, because we're gonna be using this for parallaxing and stuff like that later. But right now we're just kind of still doing the level design. All right, and cool. So let's see. So we're gonna leave it like this for now, and then we're going to go back to our tiles. Right, so remember we have all these tiles, and if we want to change the color, we can just like go back up here and switch it. So we're going to go back to this, change the tiles to this kind of light green at the moment. Let's see. Yeah, this kind of grass green at the moment. Okay, so actually, the grass tile default, I'm gonna drag this guy out of here, and I'm gonna turn him off. Oh, now I'll leave him on for right now. But okay, and we're just going to switch all of these to this color. All right, cool. And now what else do we need? Oh, we need to go ahead and drag that other bridge in here as well. So back to Animate. Get this guy, get this little bridge here. And before we drag this bridge in, you'll notice that we have some lines that are kind of missing, so because I did resize it. So let me go in here. And I believe I have a locked layer somewhere. Okay. What I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to like kind of grab these guys manually. Don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. Okay. I only want a few of these, so because I'm just gonna copy them, so I don't really need to grab everything. No. Yes. All right. So yeah, those are the ones I want. So I'm just gonna copy these, and I'm going to paste them on another layer right here, and then I'm gonna zoom out and drag these guys down here. Oh, just kind of drag them down, and maybe drag them down here, and then I'm going to let's see. Actually, I think I'm going to try to flip them and see how that works. Yeah, so I'll flip them over here, trying to make it look as woody as possible. Okay. Okay, I'll drag this over here, and then copy and paste, and then like drag it over here now, and maybe flip it back this way. I mean, and if I want to, I can just kind of like go over here and just like draw a couple more lines. You know, this is be like, hey guys, this is actually wood, so you know you can kind of do whatever you want to with it. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be our little like wooden area, our little other bridge or our pier. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and export this out. And this will be like Pier 2. My tea has gotten cold again. So I have a really bad habit of like of heating up drinks and stuff, but then not drinking them. Okay, and we'll jump back over into Unity, and I shall drag this Pier 2 into my sprites. Oh, I'm getting sleepy again. Okay, but let's continue. So, Pier 2, I'll go ahead and drag this over here. Yeah, this guy's kind of big, so. And we shall, I think we'll go ahead and drag it, like, resize this first. Put it right around here, come on. Yeah. We'll put them, yeah, put them right around there, and which layer are you on? We'll put it on the same layer as our small bridge. So that's layer 8. Alright, so Pier 2 will also be layer 8. Okay. And yeah, I think we'll rotate him a little bit this way too. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly where this is going to look the best. So I guess I can put this here and just kind of move this tile over a little bit. Okay, yeah, that might actually look better. And this tile right here, I can put this on probably 9. No, no. Maybe 7. Come on. And this can be 8. All right, yeah, that looks better. So we'll put this on 8. Put this small bridge also on 9. Okay, so yeah, we got 8, 9, and then this will be 7. This one right here, I think will need to be maybe 8. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that looks better. All right, cool. So now that we have this set up, we'll remember anytime that we add an element, we probably want to check our Polygon Collider. So now that we have this pier here, we're going to want to check our Polygon Collider. So I'm going to take this pier, and I'm also going to drag this into prefabs. There you go. So we've kind of changed the layout a little bit. Color palette, I can go ahead and shut this guy down. So we're going to go back into our bounds, and we're going to go to our tile bounds, and we're going to take a look at this pier area. Before I do that though, I'm going to go ahead and change, maybe darken this again. Okay, there we go. And now I'll go back into our tile bounds. And yep, so now I'm going to have to kind of realign this Polygon Collider just a little bit. But, you know, since we're just using boxes and stuff, it's actually pretty easy to manipulate now. So, just kind of line it up with this new, new outline. Ding, 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 ding. So whenever you add like new stuff for the player to kind of walk on, just go ahead and check your Polygon Collider, like I'm kind of doing now, and make sure that everything lines up there. All right, now cool, that should be good enough. And also I'm gonna need to change the layer of this guy. So this is like sitting around here. So I'm gonna put this on layer 9. Okay. Yeah. All right. That looks okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so yeah, that's kind of like our basic level layout kind of done for as for the area that the player can kind of walk around. Right, and with this, what I'm gonna do, thank you for joining my stream. I'm still kind of laying out this level so you can kind of, relax and chill. We're not really gonna do so much intense stuff today. I'm just kind of showing you how I've decided to like lay out this level. So we're gonna be using more like a tile map type of thing. I do have this right here, which is something that the player can kind of walk through. So he can kind of walk through this blue torch. I named this one blue torch, but now I'm going to name it red torch because I put a actual orange flame on it, so red torch. All right, we're going to add a quick Polygon Collider to this guy as well. Yeah, so we'll add a Polygon Collider 2D, maybe not. We're not going to add a Polygon Collider 2 to that. 2D to that. Instead, we're going to take this and we're going to drop it inside of an empty movie clip. So create empty, and I'm gonna make sure that my empty is 0, 0, 0, and then I'm going to take this guy as well, red torch, and I'm gonna put him at 0, 0, 0, and then I'm going to take red torch and drag him down here all the way to the bottom and drop him into this empty game object, and just name this like torch 1. Right, and now that he's in here, I'll go ahead and focus on this. Now that he's in here, we're going to just use a standard box collider, I think. So add a actually no, I'm going to use a polygon. I like using a polygon sometimes because I can kind of like set different things with it, so I can kind of make it look like the player interacts with the objects a lot better than a lot more accurately than if we were just using the standard box collider. So we'll allow the player to kind of like run around here and bump into this, but he can kind of run around the flame, or she can kind of run around the flame. So there we go. So we'll just use this as the collider for right now. Okay, and this also will relocate him back to his original position, which is right there. All right, and we'll go ahead and turn this torch into a prefab. So torch 1 prefab. All right, so now the player can like kind of bump into that and interact with it as well. All right, so this is our level that we're continuing to build. And what we're going to do with this bottom like graphic is going to be pretty cool. But we're also going to want some like elements on the top. So for example, these trees, well, like I can go ahead and move these up to like level like 9 or level 10 as well. And now I can like choose whether I want them on the top of the map, or if I can also choose these down here if I want them to appear like below everything, below the scenery. I can drop this down to like maybe, I don't know, negative like 50 or something like that. And these trees will appear below everything. So I could actually start going ahead and creating my forest down here. Using the same trees. Now, with the forest below, I'm not really going to want to use the same trees. Really, I'm probably going to use a different set, just to kind of differentiate. There should be like 3 you guys selected. Okay, there we go. So, okay, I think I'm gonna drag you down here. No, not down there. Like, so I'm gonna drag this right around here. And I'm going to go ahead and group these guys. So maybe create empty, like a lower level trees. So these will be like the trees that are kind of below our walkable level. Right, and with these guys selected, I can go through and maybe darken them a little bit. You know, yeah, just to kind of darken them and like make them smaller. Yeah, just something like that will be good enough. And remember, I am just kind of reusing the same prefabs anyway. So this is where I can actually start creating my forest by just like grabbing these and like just duplicating them everywhere and like changing the size and stuff like that. Yeah, so that'll give us more of a depth perception kind of thing. Right. So now that we're on that topic though, what we're going to need to do is we're going to, because we have a couple of different levels, so we have like these level tiles. Well, these level tiles are going to be on the upper level of our game. So we do have our game kind of separated out. We've got our old layout, which you know, we're not going to use. The only thing that we're going to use from our old layout will be the color palette. So I'm just going to kind of move that out of here. Right, and then we're going to shut off our old layout for right now. And so now that we've got this, we got our upper layer. We have our, these are kind of like on our middle layer, and then we have our lower layer. So we want to make sure that we have these things kind of separated out. So we got our sky, we have our level. So I'll put these as upper level. Actually, no. I'll create a new game object right quick. So, empty game object. And we'll put this as upper layer. So, yeah, we're gonna like try to make sure that we know where all of our elements are, because now we're dealing with 3 different layers for this game. So we're going to put our upper layer, and we're going to, for our upper layer, we're going to mainly just drag our level 1 tiles in here. Right, so this will be our upper layer. And then we're going to create another game object for mid layer. Middle layer. Right. Middle layer. And in our middle layer, we're going to like put like the clocks and stuff like that. So we'll put like clock 1, clock 2, like all of the clock objects will kind of go in here. Okay, so middle layer, and there's nothing else that we really need to put in the middle layer. And then we're going to use our put our lower layer. Yeah, and our lower layer is what's going to contain like this new tree group that I just created, as well as the background. So we're going to go to our level 1 background, which is kind of blacked out right now. So we're going to go ahead and drop this into the lower layer, and we're going to take these the mountain range. Yeah, the mountain ranges will also go into the lower layer. What else? We're going to take our tree groups, our lower level trees, and we're going to need to probably create empty, like, so we can create like trees and water and stuff like that. So we're going to take our lower layer trees and just kind of drop them in here. Alright, and this will help us keep everything kind of organized. So we got our background. I'm going to create another empty and name those mountains. Yeah. So we'll name like mountains. So mountains will go in here. Trees, we'll go ahead and capitalize that. So trees will go in here, and so you kind of get the idea of where we're going to be sticking stuff. All right, and so let's see, tree group 1. These trees will be in our upper level. So we've got our tiles now. So we're going to create another empty, and we're going to put like trees here. And so where did our tree group 1 go? So we'll just drag those guys in here. So now we've got our we have our tiles, which we can kind of like cut on and off. We have our tree, we can cut on and off, and this will just help keep everything like organized. Right, and our middle level holds our clocks, so we can get rid of those timepieces if we need to. All right, cool. Now we're all set up. Okay, and for the mountains and stuff, I think we've kind of already established those as maybe the mountains and the skies, I guess. Do I want the skies to be in the lower level as well? Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and put the skies in the lower level as well. Okay. Okay, so we have our sanctuary, temp BKG. What was that? All right, so now I'm just gonna do a little bit of cleanup. So, so the stuff that we're not using, or the stuff that's kind of turned off, I'm going to put somewhere. Water. Are we using water? Yeah, we're not using water right now. So yeah, we're not using our water defaults at the moment because I've decided to do the water a different way. Okay, so water we're not really using. Tree leaves we're not really using. Dummy card. Floating islands. Do I want floating islands in here? I might actually leave the floating islands around here. Yeah, I think I might leave a couple of these floating islands alive. Yeah, so I think I'll leave the floating islands, the floating islands over here, kind of alive for the sake of, just for the sake of background and stuff like that. So I might put this over here, right next to this guy. Okay, actually, yeah, that looks pretty good. This one I'll get rid of. This one I'll hide. Yeah, and then the rest of these guys can kind of hang out here. So yeah, that'll be pretty decent, I think. That's a pretty decent cleanup, I think. We can maybe expand this a little bit. Okay, and that'll make the scene look a little bit more alive. So like it's got a little bit more going on to it. So we've got that. We've got our enemies. Got our sanctuary group. Room, enemies. All right. So we got our spawn points. We got our destructible walls. All right. So now let's take a look at these like spawn points and stuff like that, which technically should be off. So if I go here and I go to my spawn points and I focus on that, you'll notice that the spawn points are a little bit, well, small. And there's really nothing kind of spawning from them. So we're going to have to do something with that. So, da, 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 da. Hmm. Okay, yeah, that one I'll have to give a little bit more thought to, I think. Give that one to some consideration, because now I need to figure out where I want my spawn points and stuff to come from. But for right now, I think I'm going to move these room enemies over here. Yeah, so I'll just move these room enemies over here for right now, with those 3 spawn points. Okay, Destructible Wall. This will be, yeah, this will also come over here. So, for Destructible Walls, I'm going to bump the layer up here to like 10. And for the minimap icon, that will also be like 11. So I'm gonna have to change a lot of the graphics now, because before I was doing them like top down, but now they're kind of parallax, right? I mean isometric. So I am going to redo a lot of these graphics now in Adobe Animate. Okay, so Destructible Wall 2, I think I can turn that one off. Destructible Wall 3, I can like turn this one off. So we'll only have like one Destructible Wall at the moment. Room, enemy, sorry, Destructible Wall. Okay, yeah, so right now I'm just kind of like figuring out the layout, and I need to move my enemies to where they're within the area to be able to attack the player as well. Right, so RDC Gunner. Gunner, Blader. Okay. So my gunner body is not lining up to oh, okay. So yeah, I need to move my physical body and my minimap icon. So my physical body kind of got separated from this, right? And probably the same thing for my blader as well. So all right. So let's see, make sure all of these guys have their correct body. alignment. Okay, that should be good. Yeah, so when I'm kind of playing around with the map, things things got a little bit weird. Okay, so you see turret. Check the circle collider. Okay, circle collider is fine for this blader. Circle collider. Yeah, so I kind of have to like play around with my enemies now that I kind of moved them around a bit. Okay. Okay, so I can run into this guy. Run into that guy. Get killed by that guy. Okay. R2. These guys aren't shooting at me for some reason. They're just kind of looking at me, so I have to figure out what's up with that. Okay, the question is, can I shoot them? Okay, let me turn on the UI so I can like actually restart stuff. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, they're not shooting me. They should be shooting me, but they're not. They're shooting at me anyway. Oh, he's just like all up in the way. Blink. Alright, so let me get rid of this one. Get rid of this card, and let me go ahead and try to kill this guy off. I mean, the fact that he's kind of sitting right in the middle of the bridge doesn't help. Right, actually, let me go ahead and put a few of the power-ups over here, just so that they're within reach, so I can like do some troubleshooting. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me go ahead and kill this guy. Can I kill you guys? Okay, I can kill this guy, I can kill that guy. Okay, try this again. Okay, he's okay. And he's okay. This guy right here is the one that's a problem, so let's find out why he's a problem. Okay, his circle collider isn't working correctly for some reason. I can't see this guy's circle collider. Why? Is a good question. That is weird. Okay, because his circle collider appears to be a bit bigger than it should be. But it's not really giving me the option to manipulate it either. because I can't see it. Okay, I only experienced that a couple times, so I don't know why that's happening. But anyways, like, you know, I'll probably wind up rebuilding this character. Well, I mean, I'm gonna wind up doing some other stuff to this character anyway, so. I'm having the same problem with the blader, where I can't see the circle collider. Huh, okay, yeah, that's weird. So I can see their physical body, the physical box collider that I put on here, and I can kind of manipulate that, but I can't really do anything with the circle collider for some reason, which is weird. Okay, I could actually see the circle and box colliders on that guy. And let's see, this one. Okay, I can see the circle collider on this one. And this one doesn't have a... Does this one have a box collider? Oh yeah, he does have a physical body, so I can actually see that. Probably. Oh, but this one's box collider is turned off. And then the hidden enemy sniper. I can see both there. Okay, yeah, that's weird. I don't know why I'm not seeing that. Alright, so, like, anyways, like, I'm not going to worry about that too much. And let's go ahead and turn the UI back off. Alright, so now the question is, what kind of enemies do we want on here? So, I've got a few enemies. I got enemies that can shoot, and I got enemies that'll, like, kind of move towards the player. Let's go to, this, RDC gunner right now, and I'll, change his graphic back. Set this graphic back to this. Alright, and, if you'll notice, right now, he doesn't have any speed, so he can't really chase the player. So I'm going to put a speed of maybe 2 on him. And for the blader as well, I'm going to go ahead and give him a speed of maybe 3. For this guy, the drone, right now his speed is 0.5, so I'm going to give him a speed of 1. And let's play. Okay, so yeah, he's just kind of running right through my barriers too. Okay, so this guy, he's just kind of ignoring everything. Okay, this one should be able to ignore it, but the blader shouldn't. Right, and so I think for the Sentry drone, I'm gonna go ahead and scale him up a bit. So scale the Sentry drone, scale the gunner, and the blader as well. Okay, and now let's go back to our blader to find out why he's able to run through shit he shouldn't be able to run through. What's your box collider like? Okay, his collision detection isn't continuous, that's why. Oh no, he's just still ghosting right through that thing. That is weird. Why? This one is trigger, blader body, physical body. Yeah, this physical body should be bumping into my stuff, but it is not. Oh. Okay, let me get rid of the circle collider right quick. Yeah, it was working fine before, so I don't know. I kind of don't know what's up with that. See if I run over here. Nope. So none of his colliders are working at the moment. Move component. All right. So let's go back up here and drop another circle collider on him. 2D, and I want to really want to see you. Weird. Okay. Go to the physical body and oh, now I'm just kind of like trying to figure out why this guy isn't working, so you guys can ignore the rest of this. Because that's annoying me. It was working before, so I have no idea why it's not working now. Okay, let me shut down this blader right quick. Shut down this blader, and I'm going to duplicate the gunner, because the gunner seems to be working correctly. So let's see, put blader 2. And I'm just going to go ahead and switch the graphic and the animation controller. Blader, yeah. Okay. And let me go ahead and drag him over here. Okay, good. They're both stuck where they need to be, and they're both shooting at me. Okay, good. Now, let's go drop down into here. And let's change this to blader. Yeah. Alright, and I'll name this one to blader body. Right, and let's see if that works. Now, we're not going to be using the gunner, the blader, or any of these enemies on this level, but I do need to kind of figure out why they're not, why he's not moving correctly, so that's kind of why I'm doing this at the moment. Alright, yeah, so now he's cool. They're kind of ganging up on me, which is exactly what they should be doing. Okay, so if I run over here, are they going to get stuck, or are they going to have to follow the rules like everyone else? Okay, yeah. So these guys don't have any pathfinding abilities at the moment. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, this guy, he can just kind of follow me anywhere. And I might go ahead and disable the rotation on him, because it might not be necessary, since this is going to be isometric. For these guys, I'm going to leave it though. Right? And now, for the blader, I don't want him really shooting at me, so can shoot. I'll turn can shoot off on him. Oh shit, that didn't work. So yeah, I have that can shoot on here for a reason, but it's not really like working on him at the moment, so I think I'll give him a null object. Let's see if that one works. Okay, yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of cheat with this guy and give him a null object at the moment, and I'll make the blader faster. So the blader should be blader is like a more of a melee attack character anyway, so give him a speed of 3 to where he can really, and stopping distance, there won't be any like major stopping distance for him, so he's going to keep on pursuing me to the ends of the earth. Hmm. All right, so now I noticed like with this, they're both kind of getting stuck because they've got the box collider for their physical body. So for their physical bodies, I'm going to go ahead and switch this over from box collider to circle collider. Okay, yeah. So I'll give them both the circle collider so that they can kind of work their way um, around these kind of obstacles. Then I'll go ahead and remove this box collider component. And same for the gunner. His physical body should be a circle, so that way they don't really get stuck on those edges. Go ahead and remove component here and make sure his circle colliders are right around here. Right. I'm starting to wind down now because I'm getting sleepy. So, okay, cool. This should be good enough. Okay, so yeah, now they can kind of like move around stuff a little bit easier, I think. I am going to kind of do something with this edge though. So let me go find my bounds again, and my tile bounds, and go my Polygon Collider. Yeah, sometimes this happens where you can't really see your collider bounds, or see your colliders. I don't know why that happens, but it does. This could be like like life telling me that I probably need to go to sleep though. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't show up as bounding. I would love to do that, but I can't see my bounding box. Alright, let's see. There we go. Alright, so I did notice that they're kind of getting stuck around here. So, you know, just to make sure that they can kind of, no, let's go back to that. If you have that problem, I guess you just have to hit F. And yeah, my voice is starting to trail off because I'm getting sleepy now. Finally. So I might make it to where they can kind of, to where this area isn't really such a, such a straight box. Okay, there we go. And that way they can kind of enter the bridge a little bit easier. Okay, yeah, so now they can kind of enter easier and kind of start chasing her down a little bit more. And I mean, she's got him beat for speed though, so. All right, so yeah, we've kind of got our nice playable area, and like she can't go out of the bounds or anything. So that gives her a lot of like running room. And then we're gonna like do some cool stuff, like start um, adding backgrounds, adding stuff like that. Maybe extending this and out so you can kind of see where this is going a little bit more. Um, because of the style of game that we're doing now, I think I'm also going to play with the camera a little bit, and we're going to need to go to the virtual camera, and we're going to kind of increase the size so that we can see more of the map now, because this map is much larger. So maybe right around, maybe something like this would be good. Okay, yeah, this will give us a little bit more view of the world. So I think a wider camera angle like this looks nice. Maybe we'll just go down to 30 though. See how 30 looks, because I do want the character to look bigger as well. You know, or to be a little bit more definable. All right, cool. We can see our little forest trees over there. We've got our time, whatever that thing is. Did I just run through that? Yeah, I just ran through that. But can I run off of it? No. Okay, good. Maybe 31. 31, and I guess I'll make the player a little bit bigger. Yeah. So I'll make the player and the enemies a little bit bigger. And see how well that looks, or see how good that looks for now. Okay, so yeah, we can see more of the level. She can run around this area. Cut this right here. All right, cool. Still looks a little small. But I mean, that's also because we're running around on these squares, so yeah, she can still turn around in here, so. maybe just a little bit bigger. Bigger for everyone. Okay, yeah, this looks like a pretty good balance. So I can clearly see the character running around the screen. I can see the enemy like trying to chase her down. Can she turn? Yeah, she can turn around, and you know, like yeah, okay. I think this is good enough. And we have our different like levels of, you know, interaction going on here with our clocks and stuff. Yeah. Let's go down to 29.5 just to see what that looks like. Now I'm just kind of piddling around because I'm sleepy and I'm going to go to bed soon, so feel free to ignore my rambling. We've kind of accomplished what I wanted to today anyway, which is kind of getting the level a little bit more set up. Okay, actually this 29.5 doesn't look too bad. I think I can still kind of see enough. Yeah, I can see enough of the world to know that there's more out there and get a feel for the environment. And if I run over to this corner, as long as I can like see okay, I can see some hills. Okay, I can see the sun. Yeah, as long as I can see some hills, see some sun, you know, and don't worry, I'll fix that. Then that's probably a good enough range. All right, so now regarding those hills and that sun, I am going to have to extend the sun out, so because the sun is too small. So I have to extend that out here to where it at least covers this range. At least covers this range. And I'm probably gonna have to go ahead and make it a bit bigger as well, to where it covers around here. That means I'm gonna have to drop these mountains down as well. So I'll just go to everything in the mountain range and pull it down here. And that also means I'm gonna have to extend, or maybe extend or duplicate. So like extend this mountain range maybe out to here, and go ahead and flip it on the X. And actually I might go ahead and shrink this one down here and scale it up here, to give our mountains a little bit more variation. Kind of make them look like they're going off into the distance. The player's not really going to be able to touch this area so much, so she's not going to be like really running around here. Per se. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this guy out though. So I'll duplicate this. Sorry. I'll duplicate this guy and make it look like there is something beyond what our player can see out here. So kind of block it out here. Maybe take one of these guys and put them. Actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, maybe move this small island below here so that the player can, like, you know, see something. It's kind of while she's running around. Right. Oh, hey, thank you for joining my stream. I'm about to jump off a little bit now because now I'm just kind of piddling around, like trying to see how I want my level to look. You know, and you know, kind of doing some good old cleanup work on it, and trying to. Actually, I don't think I need that one. So, trying to go ahead and get everything set up so that we can start putting plants and trees and buildings and stuff on top of this. You know, so I had tonight I've already kind of accomplished what I was going to for this stream, which was, you know, getting some colors, getting the layout, getting the tile layout, and going ahead and mapping the walkable area for the player. Now the only thing that we have to do is really kind of, you know, play around more with doing the background artwork and, like, you know, making sure that we have clouds that can kind of move in front or behind, kind of like parallaxing clouds and stuff like that. So we'll be doing all of that probably tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and turn the color on this thing back up a little bit. This cloud shouldn't be in front of these floating islands, so this cloud is on layer what? Cloud 2 is... Alright, so I'll put cloud 2 on maybe layer minus 60? Come on. Minus 80? Because this background is on 150, so yeah. And this island, floating island, is on the... So, I mean, we're going to have, like, clouds that are coming above the island, in front of the island, and behind the island and stuff like that. So we can kind of play around with those to see where we want them to be. Maybe this island right here, I'll change it to, like, negative 70. Or negative 70. And then maybe the island behind it, the floating island behind it, I could, like, do something like this to where we can see a little bit of fog and stuff when we're parallaxing, going through all of this. This one will be like negative, like, 70. And this one could be like negative 60. You are like negative 70, and then, like, this one's negative 60. So yeah, we can do something like this, and then, like, you know, we'll just play around with our clouds and stuff later to get them, yeah, like floating in between stuff or floating above stuff. But remember, the clouds will be, well, should always be below. Well, actually, not necessarily true. Some of the clouds will be below, just to kind of show that we are above something. Some of them will have, like, some different clouds kind of floating above, I think. Floating on the actual playable area, walkable area. All right, let me save this. All right, and yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at our scene. Actually, let me go ahead and copy this cloud that we were just talking about and move him over here and bump him up to 35 or 30. Yeah, 30 here. just so that we can see like how the clouds might kind of work. So I might have some passing clouds go through here. So some will be above, some will be below. And we'll just change the shapes of them to kind of differentiate which clouds are like the bottom cloud and which ones are the top. Okay, and so I'm just gonna leave that cloud there for like absolutely no reason. He's just kind of there for eye candy. And then when we play, we're just gonna run around the screen like you know, pick up some items, and we'll start like manipulating the items and like making them bigger and stuff like that as we are laying out the level. But I just kind of want to check the scale of everything right now. So yeah, you know, this cloud is just kind of sitting there. So giving a little bit more environment to the area. Okay, and we'll work on giving this some depth as well. What else? You got our sun in the background. Our player still kind of moves slow, so I might increase the speed of the player. All right, and when we go over here, then like, you know, this will be where I still need to extend this out a little bit more because the player can still see. So let me drag her over here to get an idea of what she's seeing in this area. Okay, yeah, so I'll need to do something with this. So probably I'll just wind up kind of extending this or blurring it out. So yeah, I could just go ahead and do that right there, but which actually kind of works, to be honest. So I do want to make sure that while she's over here, she is not necessarily seeing any empty space. Sorry, that's my sprite mask. Okay, yeah, I'll have to figure out what to do with that extra area. I could do that, or I could just like, you know, put like a little, I don't know, filter around it. Because I want the player to be able to see like at least some detail. Yeah, I'll figure out what to do with that later. I could probably just do something like this, but that might look a little tacky. Let's try it. You know, just kind of trying to see how much artwork I can kind of get away with not doing. Alright, and like go ahead and drop this back to my 200. Alright, and I can maybe go ahead and give this the same color as, where's my color wheel? I could go ahead and give this the same color as this one, I guess. Okay, now actually let's see how this works, because if I'm lucky, that means I don't have to do any additional artwork, and that means I also need to move this guy up a little bit because we're getting some sunshine where it doesn't need to be. So I could do that, or I could even like change this to water. Yeah, I think I'll change this to a watercolor. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and like turn this into like a little bit of an ocean looking thing. That doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I think we might actually use that one instead. Yeah, so we'll just change this into a nice little watercolor. because while she's running around, remember we have her kind of boxed in by the Polygon Collider, so she shouldn't be able to reach this area anyway. So the collider is going to kind of steer her down this lane. So let's see if how far she can go. All right. Okay, yeah. So she hits the edge, and damn it, there's still a little bit left over here. But when I come down this way, I am definitely going to speed this character up though. So when I come down this way, whoa. I forgot I put I forgot I put that little exit level thing there. So all right. Yeah, I think we're going to use that plan. So the rest of this is just going to be water. That she because she's not going to actually be able to see through it. Okay, so I'll extend this over here. This guy needs to be like a lot longer than I thought. So I'll put this over here. All right, and I do have an exit level, so let's go find exit, and it's right there. And I forgot that I put it on the square before, because this was actually going to be the endpoint. So what I'll need to do is I'll need to go ahead and move this over. No, move this exit level to the end, and we're probably going to build like a little sanctuary there or something. So this will be like the portal zone. So I'll just like put this here, and just drop it, maybe layer 30, so that we can kind of see it. All right, and I'll do the same thing over here on this side. So just kind of copy this and put it over here. All right, and when it comes to the southern, I also have to be careful of the southern border, I suppose. So let's go ahead and take our player and move her to the bottom and see how much of an area she's actually seeing down here, because we changed the camera view, that's why. Okay, so if I go down here, yeah, she can kind of see a little bit of extra space there that she shouldn't have access to. So we're gonna take another one of these squares and it's kind of duplicate this, and stretch it out here. And I'll put this one probably like something like one. And I will change the color of this. So I'm gonna go click on this one and try to click on this one, grab the color picker thing, and go in here and just kind of paste that and see if that matches. And it doesn't. All right, so hold on. The one above, maybe the one above, I think is the one I chose. I'm getting sleepy, guys, so that's why I'm kind of rambling. Sorry. It's what, almost 4 a.m. in Tokyo, and I think I just picked the same color. Yeah, I did. One more time. So I mean, there's absolutely nothing down here for the player to be able to access. That doesn't look too bad, actually. Alright, yeah. So now when she comes down to this area, she should just like, she should see that this is the end of the map, but she's not going to be able to see any empty space. That's kind of like, that's the main thing. Right, so we got this, and what's this guy doing here? Right, and we can run around here, and I'm definitely going to increase their speed so that this isn't a boring run. Go past here. Okay. Can't go over there. Now this is a problem. Why can't she go over here? Maybe this might be a little bit too narrow for her now. So let's take her and This is something that you're always gonna kind of want to check after you've resized stuff. I'll move her to this area, and let's click on our bounds again, our tile bounds, and yeah, I think this might be too narrow for her to fit. So let's go down to our middle level. Let's go down to our lower level and take the color on the background down a little bit so that we can more clearly see our tile bounds. Okay, so why is she having trouble fitting in here? That's the question. She's gotten a little bit bigger, admittedly. Yeah. But her circle collider isn't really or she's got a capsule collider. Her capsule collider isn't really so big. Alright, anyway, I think we're just going to have to widen this area up a little bit so she can kind of fit through it. Because we did increase her size, so... Okay, so I think she's kind of getting stuck over here. So we're going to go to the Polygon Collider and just going to drag this out a little bit. Give her a little bit more running space. Turning space, you know. And for these, basically we're going to probably need to add the islands to them, add the bottom island part to the graphic. Just because she is going to be kind of hanging off of these a little bit. So yeah, her body's going to be physically kind of hanging off beyond the squares in order to kind of turn around. So we'll make this area a little bit wider for her. Otherwise, I don't even think she's going to be able to turn because of her capsule collider. So let's give this a try right quick. Okay, so she can't even really fit in there. Right, would she be able to fit in here if she was a bit smaller? That's the question. Or is there something else kind of blocking her? Okay, so let's take her down a little bit. Right now she is 1.9, so what if she was smaller? If she can't fit through this, even when she's smaller, that means that there's another issue. Okay, can you fit in here now? Okay, there's something else that's causing this problem, so gotta troubleshoot that. Alright, what is your issue, girl? Let's hide you for a second. Oh, I'm hiding this, and also, like, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and move this out of the way because now we don't need this bottom thing right here. So we don't need this level layout. So I need to see if there's something else that she's interacting with. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, I can't really find out what she's bumping into, so that's gonna drive me nuts. Grass tile def. Because none of these have like colliders on them. Anything down here? Ah, okay. So she could be bumping into this water down here. Does this water have... Okay, yeah, she's bumping into this water. That's what it is. So this water has a box collider on it as well. Alright, so yeah, that's what she's kind of bumping into. So box colliders. I'm going to take the box colliders off of these. And that should fix our problem. Alright, yeah, our box colliders. Yeah, you've got rigid body, box colliders, all kind of stuff. So actually, box collider, I think we can kind of get rid of the rigid bodies on these. So let's go ahead and remove the rigid body component. These are just background elements, so we don't need them. And remove the box collider, remove the rigid body, remove component, and we're just going to do that for all of the background items, and that'll fix the issue. Okay, yeah, now she can kind of travel freely around here, but not too freely, and she can turn around, and she can, like, reach this other area. Yay! And since she's reached this other area, and I don't kind of want it to look that damn bare, I'm going to go ahead and move this island right here. And I'm going to scale it up a little bit. And I'm going to bring him over this. So, what are you? You are 0. What are you? You are also 0. You will be... You are -10. You will be -50, and you will be -55. No, sorry, not that one. You will be -55. And you will be -56. Alright, and let's go ahead and drag this up over here, and we'll make this bigger. Up over here, make it bigger right here. Alright, so here, here. Something like this, I think, will work. And then for this one, we can kind of drag him over here. Okay, and now let's go see how this looks. Okay, yeah, that doesn't actually look too bad. I mean, this does look a little bit too big though, so I'm going to shrink it down. Yeah, just like a little smaller island would probably be better. Okay, and yeah, let's see how that goes. Because we're just kind of really like trying to cover up the gap in the map. Okay, yeah, something like this might work. Okay, yeah, that works pretty well. And then like we can see like the other kingdom around here, you know. So that can build a little level of curiosity up. Right, and these guys are still kind of pursuing me, chasing me around. Might want to make this square a little bit bigger now that we've kind of changed the battle area size and the players. So I'll make this a little bit wider now. Kind of line it up here. All right, and remember, whenever we like change a tile like for an area that's going to be a walkable area, we need to change the tile bounds. So let's focus on that. And go to the Polygon Collider again, and we're just going to kind of need to extend this area out here now. Okay, so there, and need to change this a little bit. Okay, yeah, so whenever you like edit the area, just make sure that you update your Polygon Collider as well. And like we'll test this one, and then I think it's gonna be a bit about time for me to go back to bed. Okay, so she can go down here, go down here. She can still see that little blue spot down there, which I'm gonna get rid of. Walk around this area. Walk up here. Can't go over here. Okay, and she can kind of walk around here. All right, cool. So I think that's going to be mainly it for tonight. Except for this thing that's getting on my nerves, so I'm I'm gonna have to move this blue box up a little bit. Yeah, just to right around there. All right, and I think I am gonna add one more square, but this is not gonna be a walkable square. It's just gonna kind of be out here to give a little bit more sense of like perspective or of scale, I think. And this one is going to come up, so this is going to be maybe 8 or so. All right, cool. So that's our level layout for this one right now. So the actual starting point for this game, I think I'm going to put it right here. Or I might just put like some trees or some bushes or something. I don't know. Let's go ahead and save this. And now, like when we come back, we can start like really kind of playing around with like the colors and stuff like that. So, for example, I might want to change this tile's color to like a little bit more of a darker green now. Just to indicate like different types of land. So, and I'll probably do the same thing for this one over here. Make it look like, okay, well, there's definitely something over there that needs to be explored that we just don't have access to yet. And then for the rest of these, I can kind of, play around with like their color values as well. And, their order in layer, so you'll be like -5. And this one will be like -6. And then this one right here, I'll change this to also to like maybe a bit of a darker green. And I'll put this one, since the player is not going to be walking on this one, I'll put this one at layer 8. Just to give you some ideas of what we can do. All right, so I've got like different types of greens coming into this now. I might change this one to a yellow tint, a brighter yellow tint, or like maybe even orange, or I might actually keep this one a greenish tone, greenish yellow tone, and then change these two to like a more actual yellow-ish. So this will be like yellow. This one can be any color that I want, really. So yellow, orange, or yellow, orangish kind of thing. So yeah, now this is what we can kind of do with these tiles, and really start kind of hooking up the look of this. Okay, and don't forget we have like plants and stuff that we're going to be adding onto this. This tree group is like layer 50. Our bottom layer is 199, so we're going to drop these guys all the way down. These tree groups for the lower level, we're going to drop these guys all the way down to 100. Well, -100. Okay, and these guys also -100. And what are you doing up here? Like -100. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of cool for what we need right now, or what we're working on right now. Right, and let's go ahead and bump this back up. Just because I don't want it looking too boring. So we'll bump this back up here now. And then we'll save and play. Okay, so now we've kind of got this little thing going on here. I've added this square, so maybe I will indeed go ahead and do I want to do that? Nah. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave the start point where it is right now. Another good thing that we can do with these tiles, while I'm on the topic of tiles, is we've got all of these tiles here. Well, what if I wanted to, kind of hide all of them? Well, I can hide everything here, but also like, because I'm using the same graphic or the same like prefab over and over and over again, I can actually like go in here and I can duplicate this. And if I want to, I might want to create some shadows. So what I can do in here is I can go to this and I can just go like click through all of these, like click all of these guys, and then I can go to this and I can kind of shadow these out if I want to, like kind of create like a little bit of a drop shadow, and I should also be able to maybe fade a little bit. Right, and if I take all of these and I drop them down to order and layer, like maybe -50, and then I take this whole thing and I move it downwards, well, now we kind of have like some like shadowing below our layers. Yeah, so that's how we can quickly create some shadows if we need to. And that might make it look like it's actually staying up above the surface even more. So I can add this like layer 1 tile shadows. So I can like leave these tile, I can like drop these like shadows as far as I need them to, or raise them above, or kind of like, leave them below or whatnot. So I can like kind of put them here, and this shadow right here will need to get dropped. So that would be like -100 or something like that. So anytime I want to like kind of manipulate the shadow, that gives me the ability to do so. Okay, and so that already makes it kind of look a little bit like there's a little bit more depth or perspective for these. Okay, yeah, and so yeah, I think we'll leave those there for now. But if we don't like them, then we can always just like turn them off, so it don't really matter. So on or off. This depends on which one you prefer. The shadows, I might want to like make them go back a little bit. Yeah, go back, and then maybe around this would be good. Like just little thin shadows would be good enough. On or off, on or off. Yeah. So that gives us a little bit more depth as well. All right, so yeah, that's gonna be basically it for this tutorial, because I'm like way like more tired than I should be. Oh, there's one thing I'm gonna do with this sun though. So the sun is kind of hanging out. He's kind of hanging out at 120, whereas the mountain here is at 130. Actually, that shouldn't be too bad though. Oh, yeah, I'll put this at 150 instead. Mm, 150 or 135. Yeah, to where it shows up, to where it actually is spinning behind the mountains. Alright, so yeah, let's play. Okay, so I'm gonna have to like kill this guy and get him off the screen. So I'm gonna use my scatter shot. Do I have my scatter shot? Yeah. Yeah, kill all these guys. Right. So don't worry, I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff with the bullets and stuff as well. Oh, that's why. So let me hit this guy, boom. Right, so go over here. Go over here. Over here. Okay, and yay, we can see our other land area, but we can't do anything with them. That's exactly what I wanted. So it's like, oh wow, there's something else over there that we can explore, but we can't explore it. So I'm just going to leave it alone and go to my destination. And then I can put a lot more enemies here. Yeah. So this doesn't look too bad, I think. All right, yeah. Me being a little bit of a nitpicker, I'm gonna move this sun. I'm gonna move the sun this way. Yeah. So I'm gonna move the sun over there, and then like we can put like some other stuff, like I don't know, like more mountains or whatever in the background. Might even put one of these guys up here and make him like really kind of big. And maybe tint him a little bit. Nah, I'll just leave him like that. Or will I? Okay, I'll like leave him like this for right now. Because I don't think the player is going to be able to see that far anyway. Yeah, player's not even going to see that. Well, now the player just kind of got ganged up on, so. Okay, I'm not going to, yeah, see that over there. But you see, like how once you start using this, it's actually much faster and much easier just to go ahead and start laying out levels. All right, cool, cool, cool. So I can see that there's something over here, something kind of interesting. Right, see that landmass there. And I've got my sun over here. Okay, yeah, so, I mean, we could do something like that, I guess. Even for these floating islands, I suppose I could have them parallaxing. That would actually be kind of cool if they're actually moving across the screen. Yeah, because players not really gonna see these guys over here. That's just kind of extra for me. Whoa. Excuse me, getting really, really sleepy. You guys move, 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 move. Okay, yeah, actually that looks pretty good. So I think we are going to go ahead and call it quits for there because it's almost 5 a.m. in the morning in Japan, so I do need to get some sleep. Um, yeah, but now you could kind of see how we're laying out our levels. So if you have any questions or whatnot, like just go ahead and drop them in my comments or on my Discord server. So for those of you who haven't joined my Discord server, you can find it right here. This one, which is yeah, you can just go to the general one, and this is my Tokyo Indie Game Developer server. So yeah, so go check that out. And I think, yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. So if there's anything, I'll be working on this again tomorrow anyway. But I do need to get some rest. All right, so that'll be it. So everyone have a good night or a good morning wherever you are, and I will see you all again probably later on today. All right, so